Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thanks for joining me here. We're going to take a quick look at mana. And before we do, we normally look at Bitcoin, but today Bitcoin's a whole lot of 61,000, if you know what I'm saying. In other words, it's doing jack crap, just stuck right there at support, and there's a strong chance it should break to the upside soon once it consolidates for the next 20 or 30 days. Just kidding, maybe sooner, we never know, but it is a whole lot of boring right now. Mana is almost effectively the same thing, but good news is we got a little bit more data we can work with here, and we'll go ahead and look at that more specifically. And if you're new to the channel, thank you for joining me here, first of all, but just know I'm not a financial advisor. I do have, however, years of trading experience, and my goal here is to help you become a better trader. I have a trading community designed for that specific purpose. Check that out in your own time. I actually send out signals for every single trade that I take. And this review actually is because of my patrons that are asking me to cover these things. So that's kind of what I do for them, right? We're all here to help each other out. So take a look here at mana. We're going to take a look first of all at the one-day chart, kind of work our way down. So I believe any good trader should look at all time frames and kind of extract different things from each because they all kind of serve a purpose, right? So look at the one-day chart. First of all, we had this tremendous increase, right? Over 3 trading days, 556% increase, okay? So don't act surprised when you see the price coming down, okay? 9 times out of 10, the price will come down 50 to 60% of the way that originally, from originally where it started, the starting point, right? So why don't we, in fact, just go ahead and throw this up here and see. Look at that. Fibonacci retracement line 1.272, a very common resistance level, in this case support, is right there at the previous, I believe, all-time high. Right? Yep. So it's right there at the all-time high. So again, I'm not surprised by that. That makes perfect sense. And if we look at the 0.5, the halfway point here, this is well below that. So, I mean, this retracement makes perfect sense considering how high it came, right? So you shoot for the stars, you land on the moon, right? That's the concept. Well, mana missed the mark, okay? It's just floating in outer space right now, trying to figure out its bottom. There's a chance we might have the bottom here, and we'll see that on a shorter time frame. Regardless, take a quick look at some of the indicators. Moving averages matter nothing right now. A little too early to tell. RSI is back under 70, which is kind of good. I prefer that. I'd much rather the RSI be kind of 50 to 70 range instead of a bit on the overextended side, which it was for quite some time. We can actually start using those metrics eventually here soon, but for right now, still a little premature. Now, looking on the 4-hour chart, we can actually kind of see here that the 50-day 7-moving average is working with the price action. I looked at that earlier, and it's kind of nice. This is a great thing. So the price should be moving up with the 50-day 7-moving average, slowly bringing it up to normal, right? We'll see, of course, what happens here soon, but generally speaking, that works as a support in most cases. We've got a potential, what is it? Potential MACD convergence. Again, a little premature. We don't know yet, but that might actually converge here soon. The key takeaway here is that the price breaks above 50 on the RSI. With it being stuck under 50 here, that's a kind of an imaginary, I would actually probably, invisible is probably the better word for it, because it's totally not imaginary. It's a valid thing. But 50 is kind of an imaginary, sorry, I said the wrong word again. It's not imaginary, all right? It's invisible, but it's an invisible line, right? It's a support and resistance level. In this case, potential resistance. So keep that in mind. The 50-day, the 50 on the RSI is a potential resistance. So okay, let's go ahead and calibrate here and look at the 1-hour chart. So here's what's going on in the 1-hour chart. We want to take a quick look at the cloud, see what's going on. Obviously, the cloud is, unfortunately, above the price action. So it's still considered a no-buy zone. You want to make sure the price is above the cloud before you take entry. So if all goes well, the price continues sideways for some time, we're back above the cloud, and then you could effectively take entry there. But what could actually happen too, if the price continues to increase, we could get that MACD convergence on the 4-hour chart and a break above the cloud. That would be X marks a spot for a long position, okay? So I think what we should do here, because this is a resistance level right about $2.88, why don't we go ahead and set an alert at 288 and look at this again later and see. Because if we break above right around there, just say break above the cloud, so to speak, and we got the MACD convergence in the 4-hour chart, that would be a pretty solid buy signal to me, based on the simple fact that those two things working together works almost every single time, okay? So a really, really good indication, and it doesn't happen all the time either. So let's go ahead and look at TD sequential. Probably not much to note here. Yeah, we're in a state of consolidation. We actually got a 9 recently with an increase up to a 2. Back over to 3. So honestly, there's not much to really note here, except for the fact that the price kind of going sideways. That kind of implies you have consolidation when you're not reaching the full numbers. We got 3s and 4s and resets. So that means nothing. And if you're not familiar with TD sequential, don't worry about it. But it really just helps us understand market exhaustion. So at this point now, I mean, the price shouldn't consistently go any lower because we are kind of reaffirming ourselves as this being a stronger support level, which has been tested about 4 or 5 times, right around 240. So the retracement lines are pretty close. You're looking at 235 to 240 is a support level zone. And obviously, again, resistance zone is up here between 430 and just say round number $5, right? So for the 430 to 5 is kind of a resistance channel. So just go ahead and throw a squiggly line in there for that one. And a nice little support channel here just in case the price were to come down. Okay. So all in all, we're looking good. So big picture, why don't we just go ahead and take a quick look at the forecast and kind of see what may happen if this were to, continue back to the upside, or more so, win. I think it's more so an inevitability, but it rose up so quick that it had to come down, right? So you've heard this analogy before, I'm sure. I apologize, but it's best for my newer viewers. So, imagine if you're like on a second floor and you fall down a flight of stairs. You're probably going to mess yourself up, right? It's going to hurt like hell. It's going to slow you down, right? That's what happened to Mana. It went to, the 10th floor and it just tumbled all the way down to like the 3rd and 4th floor right now. Right? So we still got plenty of room for growth, but don't think for a second that it's just going to spike back up out of nowhere based on the simple fact that it takes a while to recover, right? It's not like you just fell down and bruised your knee. You broke some bones, and that's what happened to Mana. So for lack of better terms, I wouldn't expect a significant increase soon. If so, that would be more like it'd be an anomaly, I would say. What we should expect is for the price to slowly keep testing these resistance levels and work its way up. That's more than likely going to happen. So if it were to happen that way, right, what would that put us? It would put us about $8.30 as a best case scenario. I'm talking extreme best case scenario at the end of the month. Now year end, probably more realistic to get in that range if it continues to recover and consolidate, and then furthermore increase comfortably. If it just shoots up to its resistance level, you can expect it to come back down, right? We need it to leg up comfortably, and what I mean by comfortable is, just edge itself up, right? Keep hitting these next little resistance tiers and just working its way up. That's what a good coin will do. Not saying Mana is a bad coin, but that's what a good progression would look like, rather. And Mana has potential for it. All right. So I think it's all good. If you're going to consider adding to your position, just make sure you confirm your stop loss is in the range of about 150 to 165, because this is a major support level down here. We haven't broken to that lower channel yet, but if we do, pay close attention, see what's going on. Maybe consider adding to your position right here around 165, 167, because that is essentially probably the lowest point we'll see. But I'm speculating we're in pretty good shape right now, considering how frequent we've seen this. One last thing we can look at here too, which is also equally as important. Let's go ahead and clear the charts. Is the volume profile. Let's see where the most amount of volume is. Okay, and this is also going to work as a potential resistance too. So keep in mind, 315 is a pretty strong potential resistance zone because we've had so much volume in that area that a lot of times the bears try to keep the price underneath it by selling their position and adding it and essentially just lowering their average cost, right? So anyways, that's just kind of something to think about, but big picture, Mana's not in bad shape. Don't be concerned too much, but just know, honor and respect those resistance zones and the support, because all in all, it's still very much in good shape. We just need more time to consolidate. Okay. All right. So thanks so much for joining me here today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Check out my Patreon community, of course, and if you'd like to become a CryptoCache Premium user. It's a really awesome experience, and we only have a few slots left until the month is over. And then, of course, at that point, the price will be increasing. So check that out, lock out your rates, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks again for your time. Take care. Have a great day.